Speaks. It's a Wednesday, and got to talk to you guys about the hot topic in sports talk radio over the last 24, 48 hours. And that's the fact that Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter have been told that they're going to have their jerseys retired. Their numbers will no longer be in service at the University of Colorado. There has previously been a total of five Colorado Buffaloes that have ever had their jerseys retired at the University of Colorado. This will be 6 and 7, and there are people that are outraged. And there are a lot of people that are very supportive of the decision. The reality is this is the first decision that Deon Sanders has made that has really kind of enraged the alumni, including myself. This is a bad decision. Not Travis Hunter. Look, everybody can understand Travis Hunter. You win a Heisman, you get the opportunity to get your number retired. I don't care if no time has passed. Look, you can break rules for a Heisman Trophy winner. We only got 2 in the history of the program, and Travis Hunter is certainly worthy of having his number retired. Shedeur Sanders is a different conversation. And look, the reality is the boss made a mistake. They shouldn't do this. It's too bad. Shedeur Sanders is worthy of being honored by the University of Colorado. Not now, and probably not ever having his number actually retired. Look, this is crazy. And the vitriol from former players regarding number 2 getting retired is very loud right now. Talk to Charles Johnson. I've heard guys like Joel Klatt talk on it. Guys like Chad Brown talk on it. Guys like Matt McChesney. Guys like David Bakhtiari. And I do believe that most, including myself, believe that Shedeur Sanders is worthy of being honored down the road. Not now. And the problem is we're bypassing the line. There are so many former greats at the University of Colorado that if we're going to open up this wormhole and start retiring numbers, there's guys that are just in line. And specifically, there's one guy that's already worn the number 2, and that's Deon Figures. Deon Figures is a Jim Thorpe Award winner. Deon Figures is a national champion. Deon Figures had a great NFL career. Deon Figures owns a whole bunch of other awards and has got one hell of a resume. The fact that Shedeur Sanders is going in on his own, at the very least, the University of Colorado, they can honor Deon Figures at the same time. And we'll dive into all the things that I've heard from different buffs. The problem is bypassing all these guys. The problem is it feels like, and I don't want to get kicked out of the Buff Club here because I love the Buffs and I love Deon Sanders. I love Coach Prime. I'm grateful to Coach Prime. I don't want him going anywhere. And this is a blunder. It's not the end of the world. It's a blunder. It's a mistake. I still want him as the head coach of the University of Colorado. Like, it's nothing like that. But this is a blunder. It's a big blunder. And in my opinion, Rick George made a mistake by either doing this or allowing this. So we'll dive into all that. But before we do it, as always, I need to take a second here to thank my sponsors. Title sponsor, Mount Polumbus Speaks, is Safeway. I could not do this without them, and I'm so grateful that they're a part of Mount Polumbus Speaks. Look, with Easter right around the corner, you want to go get prepped. We only got a couple days until Easter comes around. You want to go get some ham. You want to go get some Easter baskets. Go get some eggs, Cadbury eggs, whatever you guys need. It's going to be over there at Safeway. So make sure you go over there now before the real rush begins. Get yourself set up. And if you don't have the Safeway app, make sure you download the Safeway app today. Skip the delivery service apps. Order directly on the Safeway app. You're going to save a boatload of money. And before you blink your eye, that food's going to be sitting on your doorstep. Order online. Safeway's going to handle the rest. Safeway, fresh foods, local flavors. Also, shout out to Ascend Barbershop in the Parker area. If you've not been to Ascend Barbershop, it's a luxury barbershop. I've been going there for a long time. Alfred Castro is my man. Anthony is the other guy that I'll see if I can't get it with Alfred. But they're all phenomenal. They take walk-ins. It is a luxury barbershop experience. It's different than anyone else. You won't believe the haircut that you'll get when you go to Ascend Barbershop. Let them know that your friend Tyler sent you on over, and I promise you they're going to get you taken care of. All right. I don't know where to start on this one because retiring a Heisman Trophy winner's number, especially at the University of Colorado, is a no-brainer. It's just a no-brainer. So I don't have beef with Colorado bypassing any sort of manufactured or real waiting period. Apologize. I keep looking down at my phone here because I'm getting some messages from some former teammates right now that I'm just trying to digest in real time. And I'll try to get you the opinions as they start rolling in here. But there's a lot of people that have got very, very strong opinions on this. Look, you've only got, let's see, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Excuse me, I said 5 earlier. There's 4 retired numbers in the history of the University of Colorado. Bobby Anderson, number 11. Played in the 60s. Rashawn Salam, number 19. And unfortunately for Rashawn, they waited way, way too long to retire his number. Unfortunately, they waited till after he passed. And so he didn't ever get to partake in the ceremony. And that's a travesty. And I'm not saying you got to wait 10, 15, 20 years to retire guys' numbers. But this is unheard of. I've never seen people have, and it is people, there's multiple guys that are having their number retired before they've even left the university. Look, I don't know if Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter are still taking classes. I know Travis Hunter is a genius. He's got like a perfect GPA. But they very well could still be enrolled at the University of Colorado. Excuse me. They are still a part of the community. They haven't even stepped foot off that campus yet. Not in the big picture. And their numbers are getting retired. Along with Rashawn Salam. Along with Bobby Anderson. Along with Byron Whizzer White. Supreme Court Justice, World War II veteran. And along with Joe Romick. Number 67. Was an offensive guard in the late 50s, early 60s. I looked at other universities like the University of Miami, University of Michigan. Just out of curiosity, how many numbers do they have retired? And it's 5 and it's 6. That's how many they've got retired. Now Colorado's got 6 when you include Shedeur Sanders and you include Travis Hunter. Tim Tebow does not have his jersey retired at the University of Florida. Now, does that have to be the standard? No, it's probably stupid. Tim Tebow should probably have his jersey retired already at the University of Florida. Generally speaking, I'm actually not a huge fan. I think retiring numbers, especially in college football, is dumb. Okay? Go put them up in the Ring of Fame. Awesome. At the University of Colorado, at least on the west side, you got to be a consensus All-American to be put up in the Ring of Fame. Shedeur Sanders is not that. Shedeur Sanders is arguably the best quarterback in the history of the university. Cordell Stewart would have something to say about that. And that's up to debate, depending on your opinion. But he's in the top 2. He's one of the best quarterbacks that's ever played at the University of Colorado. And I wonder, would this conversation look any different if they announced Travis Hunter and Shedeur Sanders are going in the Ring of Fame, rather than retiring the numbers? Because there's only been 4 in the history of the University of Colorado. Travis Hunter, no-brainer. He's number 5. Are you telling me Shedeur Sanders is the 6th best player in the history of the University of Colorado? The answer to that's no. It is. And it's unfortunate because I don't want this to sound like I'm a Shedeur Sanders hater. I'm a huge believer in Shedeur Sanders. I'm as big of a Shedeur Sanders fan as you could possibly find. I think he's going to be great in the NFL. And I'm grateful for what he's done at the University of Colorado. He revived this program. Well, that trio revived this program. Coach Prime, Shedeur Sanders, and Travis Hunter. Joel Klatt called Rick George. Rick George is the athletic director of the University of Colorado, if you don't know. And he told him flat out, I disagree with you putting these guys, or excuse me, with you retiring these guys' numbers. Rick George told Joel Klatt that a lot of it has to do with the fact that these guys brought Colorado back on the map. And you know what? They're worthy of being honored for that. They're worthy of having photos and statues and maybe a shrine inside the facility. Travis is worthy of his number being up in the Ring of Fame. Travis is worthy of his number being retired. And maybe the collective trio is worthy of having, I don't know, a courtyard, something in the field house, whatever. But retiring Shedeur Sanders' number ain't right. It's not right. With Deon Sanders, it's like you're either all in or you're all out. And it feels like there's no room to criticize anything sometimes. And I don't want to sound like a Deon hater. I freaking love Deon Sanders. I'm so freaking grateful to what he's done for this university, and we are a relevant football team. But you can criticize people that you love, people that you're grateful for. And if you go on social media, you're going to find a large contingency of alumni that are not happy. David Bakhtiari, Chad Brown, myself, Joel Klatt. The list goes on. You're going to find many of them. It's probably the first time you've ever seen alumni speak out on anything that's happened during the Coach Prime era. And here's a tough reality for us old heads to have to face. A lot of people are saying, well, where were you advocating for Deon Figures previously? Where were you advocating for Cordell Stewart previously? And maybe there's some truth to that. But nobody felt like they had to advocate for anything because retiring a number felt so special. It felt so unique that even guys that were worthy of it, you didn't really put up a huge argument for it because it just didn't happen. And now it feels a little bit cheap. That sucks. Feels a little bit cheap now. You know, I go back and forth on this all the time, and I was talking about this on my show today, Polumbus Hastings and DMAC, 12-3 on Altitude 92.5. Should Deon Sanders really care about the past at the University of Colorado? Respect the past. Honor the past the best that you can. But if we're being honest, Deon Sanders' sole responsibility is to the future of the University of Colorado. College football's changing, man. I was talking to Coach Mike Sanford about this today. The state of college athletics, it's just different. It's different, man. See, guys like myself, I bleed black and gold. I played for the Broncos, the Seahawks, the Redskins, real briefly in Atlanta. And yeah, I've got love for those teams, but not like I do the University of Colorado. That's where my pride is. That's where my heart is at the University of Colorado. And college football is changing so quickly that I don't think players are going to feel the same way that we did when we were in school. These guys play at 3, 4, 5, sometimes 6 or 7 different universities. It's freaking insane. How could they feel the loyalty that we felt over 5 years at that university? It's just not possible. And it's true about coaches. It's true about players. And more so than ever, Colorado's not alone in this, by the way. More so than ever, universities, they just don't care as much about the past because they need attention. They need to recruit 17, 18-year-olds. And if I'll give Deon credit, I don't have to like it. I don't have to like the fact that Shedeur Sanders is getting his number retired. But you know what I got to acknowledge? Everybody, not just here locally here in Denver, Colorado, or Boulder, Colorado, across the country, on April 16th, people are talking about the Buffs. Some way, somehow, he keeps this program relevant. And the spring game is this Saturday. That's when the numbers are going to be retired. There'll be a ceremony. Hopefully I'll be there. I'm supposed to be. It's going to be on national TV. recruits, 17, 18-year-olds, they'll be sitting at home. They'll see Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter get their numbers retired. And I tell you what, it actually is a hell of a recruiting pitch. Hey, come to Colorado. You could be like Shedeur. You could be like Travis Hunter, a first-round draft pick, top 5 pick, and you could have your number retired before you even step foot off of this university. Who the hell else is going to do that? Nobody. Nobody's going to do that. I think it's stupid that Tim Tebow doesn't have his number retired at Florida, but they're not doing it. Miami doesn't do it. Michigan doesn't do it. Nobody's doing it. Colorado is literally on their own. And it's Deon's world, and we're just living in it. So, as much as it does bother me, I acknowledge it's just a blunder. It's just a little blip on the radar that in 3 months and 6 months, we're not going to be talking about it. It's not like, oh my gosh, Shedeur Sanders is getting his number retired. I want them to fire Coach Prime. Hell no. I hope Coach Prime is here for as long as he possibly can be. It's a little blip on the radar that offended a bunch of us old heads. And there's guys like Darian Hagan, like Cordell Stewart, that Darian won a national championship. Cordell Stewart, depending on whose definition, arguably the greatest quarterback in the history of the University of Colorado. Guys like Deon Figures, who wore number 2. That are all worthy of having their numbers retired, but that's not happening. So I thought Charles Johnson was great when we had him on the show today, because a lot of us were just complaining. We were just bitching and moaning about it. This ain't right. It shouldn't be going down like this. Shedeur's worthy of being honored, just not like this, just not now. And Charles Johnson brought a different approach to it. First off, he agreed. He agreed that it's wrong. And he put it mostly on Rick George. He did. He said, look, Rick George allowed this to happen. And one thing that I learned that was interesting is that there's no committee that decides this. It's up to the athletic director and the current head coach to retire a number. At the University of Colorado, that's how they do it. That's wrong. There should be a committee. The athletic director should be on that committee. And I'm not so sure the head coach should have any say in it. Because really, what does the head coach care about the past at the University of Colorado? And that's not a shot at Deon. That could be true about Mike McIntyre. That could be true about Dan Hawkins. It was true about Dan Hawkins. I'll tell you that firsthand. There needs to be a committee. And so Charles Johnson was like, all right, well, this is happening. There's nothing we can do about it. So how can we try to fix it and improve it? Well, now we got to start honoring other guys. And now what it really should be is a full class. Not just Shedeur Sanders, not just Travis Hunter. Now we got to honor other guys. Now we got to honor Cordell Stewart. Now we got to honor Darian Hagan. I mean, pick your favorite buff, the best buff of all time. Deon Figures. And let's make a full class out of it, like a Hall of Fame, where we induct 3 or 4 guys rather than just these 2. Because unfortunately, the way it's going down now, it kind of feels like there's the new CU and then there's the old CU. And the old CU doesn't matter because we just bypassed all those guys. We just left all those guys in the dust and we just put in this generation. And that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. It is. I love the boss, man. I don't want to get kicked out of the club. I've said it 10 times. I love Deon Sanders. I love Shedeur Sanders. But this ain't right. This isn't right. This shouldn't be going down like this. And in my opinion, and look, it's too late now. I mean, they can't turn this thing back. They can't stop it. But on Saturday, when they do retire these numbers and when there is a ceremony, specifically with Shedeur Sanders and the number 2, they should do the right thing and honor Deon Figures at the same time. You can't bypass that. He was number 2. When you think about number 2 at the University of Colorado, at least before Shedeur Sanders got there, you thought about Deon Figures. Deon Figures is a 1990 national champion. Deon Figures is a Jim Thorpe Award winner, a Jack Tatum Award winner, a consensus All-American. Deon Figures is a Big 8 Defensive Player of the Year, first-round pick, 6-year NFL career, and College Football Hall of Fame. I haven't even talked about Alfred Williams. That's another College Football Hall of Famer, and that's my bad. Alfred's damn sure on that list. And that's where you're like, the 6th best buff of all time? What about these guys? But specifically with Shedeur Sanders, because he does wear number 2, they need to honor Deon Figures at the same time. You can't just bypass Deon Figures. You can't just act like Deon Figures didn't exist. Put them both up at the same time. Put them both in the Ring of Fame at the same time. Okay, number 2 is gone. But at least Deon Figures got honored, right? I don't think that's going to happen. At least not on Saturday. I do hope it happens eventually, and maybe it could happen in the middle of the season. But this is a bummer, man. It's not the end of the world, and I should get over this because I'm acting like, oh my gosh, like what are we going to do about this? Deon Sanders, how could he? How dare he? And of course, people are going to say it reeks of nepotism. Probably does to some degree. I think Deon is ahead of the game in a lot of areas. And I think he thinks to himself, okay, we got a spring game on Saturday on national television. How can we amp this sucker up? We're going to have recruits watching. All right, let's retire these dudes' numbers. And you know what? He's probably not wrong about that. I do think that's a hell of a recruiting pitch to 17 and 18-year-olds. You can have your number retired at the University of Colorado. Ain't getting that anywhere else. So I'm not gonna lose any sleep over this or anything. I wish it was just Travis Hunter, and then I wish we honored Shedeur Sanders down the road. And you could probably even put Shedeur Sanders in the Ring of Fame if you want to break some rules. Just don't retire his number. Those are my thoughts. Love the boss man. Love you guys that watch Mount Polumbus Speaks. If you haven't subscribed to Mount Polumbus Speaks over on YouTube, would you do me a favor? Do yourself a favor so you don't miss out on any of my content. Hit that link in my bio on Twitter. Go over to YouTube and hit subscribe. It'll take you a total of 5 seconds. You'll make sure you don't miss out on any of my content that I put out uniquely over on YouTube. I'm really trying to grow my audience over there. And if you guys love Mount Polumbus Speaks and you just want to do me a favor, and I'm asking for a favor, would you like this video on YouTube, and would you comment specifically on this video on YouTube? Does wonders for the algorithm over there, helps my channel grow, and keeps me motivated to keep bringing you guys fresh content as often as I possibly can. Again, shout out to my title sponsor, Safeway. Easter is right around the corner. Make sure you go over to Safeway, get yourself some fresh ham, flowers, Cadbury eggs, whatever you need. They're going to have it over there at Safeway. Get their app, download it today. Safeway, fresh foods, local flavors. Shout out to Ascend Barbershop in the Parker area. If you're looking for a luxury barbershop experience, they are awesome with beards. They're awesome with hair. Let them know your friend Tyler sent you on over, and they'll get you taken care of. Again, that is Ascend Barbershop in